What's up guys, welcome to another video. Today we're gonna go over 3 approaches to your Instagram growth strategy that I feel everyone needs to know. Alright, so there are pretty much 4 words that are loosely used in marketing that I feel is a cause for a lot of the confusion that people have when it comes to growing on Instagram or any social profile overall. And that's strategy, approach, method, and tactics. In that same order is the way the methodology behind campaigns and strategies work. You start with an overall strategy. So you may have an Instagram growth strategy, which will have its own approach to it. There are different approaches to growing on Instagram, and that's really what I want to cover here. And then within those approaches, you're going to have methods and tactics, which are the individualized tasks that you need to do to reach that goal of that approach and that overall strategy of Instagram growth. So a lot of times you're gonna hear different tactics that people use, and that's where I see a lot of people get confused, because some people will say this tactic worked for them. Some people will say definitely don't do this because it doesn't work, but a lot of times it does work if you put it into context. So that's why I want to put everything into context today, using 3 very common approaches so that you guys can put it together into your own strategy and approach it the correct way. So with that being said, let's go over the first approach, which I feel is the one most people hear about, which is what I like to call the agency approach. Now, if you think about working with a social media agency or an Instagram agency, they're gonna have their own set of methods and tactics that help with Instagram growth that fit their model the best. Think about this. If I was a social media agency, what I would like to do is control a bunch of assets that help other people but fall within what I can own. I can't own your personal Instagram profile page, but I can own viral pages that help promote your page. I also can help create and run ads to help grow your Instagram profiles. And this is where you hear a lot of those tactics regarding follow for follow bots, likes and comments, hashtag strategies, and a lot of different methods that'll help grow your account. Doesn't mean it doesn't work, doesn't mean that it does work. It really depends on how you put it into context. So a good example of an agency model would be something like this. If you came in as a client and you're trying to grow your personal page, what an agency might look to do would be use a viral page that they've been growing that falls within your niche. Let's say you're a fitness athlete. They may have a fitness page that they have been growing for a very long time that may have hundreds of thousands of followers, even up to millions of followers, that they can then use to repost and share some of your content that'll feed you a lot of followers and likes. Now, they may use tactics and methods to help grow that viral page, and that's where you hear a lot of things regarding the bots and the follow and follow and shout out for shout outs, things like that. And another common method that they use is they use fan pages. So let's say, for example, if they wanted to grow my page, they may make Bryan Lozano fans Instagram profiles that will have 9 to 12 of my posts in it. Each one of them have a tag back to my profile. The description of the Instagram profile is gonna have my Instagram handle on it. And what they're gonna do is run bots with 10, 20, maybe even 50 fan pages all across Instagram, targeting specific hashtags and people that follow specific people that fall within the niche that I am trying to target. Those fan pages are gonna be constantly pinging people all day long, thousands and thousands of people, building a buzz and also showcasing your content to a lot of people without harming your personal profile. See, the bots aren't actually being used on your profile, they're being used on separate accounts, and if anything negative or bad happens to those accounts, they can always just be turned off and then started somewhere separately, but it doesn't affect yours. So those are tactics and methods that a lot of agencies use to help grow your account, and that's an approach to an Instagram growth strategy overall, which is kind of gamifying Instagram, understanding the algorithm and using tactics around follow, unfollow, and likes and comments and hashtag strategies that help promote your page. They are being strategic in how they use these bots so that it can help promote an individual personal page or a brand page. So think about it in that context. Also, just think about the context of working with an agency. They're gonna wanna have control of their assets. So that's why they do a lot of these tactics on separate accounts, because those are things that they're gonna own, and they can't own your personal brand, but they can definitely turn off all the other marketing tactics on the separate accounts that they're using. And they can always reuse those accounts for other clients down the road. So that's why you see the tactic or the method of creating viral pages and the method of using fan pages used in an agency model, because one, they get to control those assets, and two, they can turn those on and off without it affecting your personal account or your brand account. All right, so approach number 2 is the one that I feel is most important for everyone to understand, and it's the one that's best for people that are starting out, and that's the creator approach. Now let's continue with the example of a fitness athlete. A fitness athlete is most likely going to be working out at a gym or at a park or someplace within your community that you go there consistently. And typically there's going to be other creators, other fitness athletes that are at those locations. And what I see a lot is these athletes build a small community around that, and they work together and collaborate with each other to help improve on their content. What you have to understand is that when you're on Instagram or on any social network and you want to grow your influence, you are essentially a media creator. You are a creative person. You have to be. And the only way that you can get really good at being a creator is collaborating with other people that are like-minded and fall within the niche. So building a community around the people that are next to you, the people that are actively doing this with you, will only help you get constructive feedback and also great collaborations, because those people are also growing as well. So you guys can leverage your growth to grow exponentially. Also, something that I've seen a lot happen within a creator approach is they'll have their own fan page for themselves. So they may have a team page that will feature the best posts from each individual person that is within that community. And that can work similar to how I was explaining the viral pages for an agency model. So the creator approach is highly focused on building great content, and that's what's gonna get you to be more viral, and that's what's gonna help you reach more people eventually. See, what you gotta focus on is 2 things. You either gotta provide entertainment or your content has to be valuable. Those are the things that resonate with people the most. And if you don't have a strategy or a method into creating that content, you're gonna fall short. All right, so this brings us to approach number 3, and this is the hardest one for a lot of people, and that's the networking approach. This is the one that you hear a lot of people talk about, like Gary Vee, where you actually have to spend the time. You have to be an active Instagrammer, not a passive Instagrammer. You can't sit back and wait for people to discover your content. You have to actually spend the time and reach out to people on Instagram DM or on email and start collaborating with creators and brands that will help grow your account significantly. You can try doing this stuff alone, but it's gonna take you much longer to reach your end goal. When you can collaborate with other like-minded people, people that are focused on growing on Instagram, it's gonna help you significantly because they have knowledge and have experience on certain aspects of Instagram that have worked well for them and certain things that may not have worked. And they will give you insight as to what can work for you. So if you try to find the people that you want to model yourself after and you start DMing them and you start contacting them, you never know, you might connect with someone that's going to help you significantly down the road. So building a methodology and tactics around Instagram DM and email and contacting people, it's definitely an approach that is very common, but it's typically very difficult for a lot of people to do. But that is definitely an approach that is highly recommended, because once you have good engaging content, it's really important that you connect with people that are gonna help you grow significantly. Now, those are 3 approaches to Instagram growth that I find most common when it comes to Instagram, that I want to make sure that you all understand and can put into context within the tactics and the methods that you hear a lot about. So I'm trying to organize this the best way possible. Remember, think about things in strategy, approach, method, and tactics. Today I went over 3 approaches to the Instagram growth strategy. But you can have multiple approaches within your strategy. You just have to put them into context as to how you're gonna execute with your methods and your tactics. Now, before we go, I want you to understand 2 very important things. Number 1 is you have to really focus on the engagement of your content. Cheating the system and hacking it to try to grow your Instagram profile when you're not ready is gonna negatively affect you. For example, let's say you have an Instagram account that you just started and you have a couple hundred followers and your engagement rate is somewhere around 3%. It would do you a complete disservice if I gave you 1 million followers today. The reason being is you have an obligation when you have a lot of followers to create content on a consistent basis, and that content better be engaging, otherwise you're gonna lose all those followers. So you have to be patient with the process. The process is only gonna help you build your own process and your own strategy that will then develop into creating great engaging content that reaches your audience the best way possible. Secondly, when it comes to using bots that try to hack and game the system, I've been doing digital marketing for over 6 years, and I've seen the internet change from an era that was focused entirely on SEO and showing up on search results on Google, and now it's a lot more focused on social media and becoming an influencer. And during the time when ranking on search engines was big, there was a lot of similarities in terms of using bots to help you show up on search results. And for a long time, there were agencies and people that used bots to help companies and brands show up on Google search results #1, and it worked. But then Google updated their algorithm and shut down all those websites. They lost their rankings and lost a lot of money. And in a similar fashion, I feel the same thing will happen with Instagram. You gotta understand that Instagram wants to be the #1 used app on everyone's phones. And the way they do that is they provide entertaining and valuable content for people using their phones. And people hacking it and putting irrelevant content or putting content that's just not very engaging in front of a lot of these people is not gonna help Instagram overall. And just think about it this way, for every hacker that is out there, there's another hacker working to try to stop that hacker. Eventually, it'll catch up to you. And that's why I would never recommend that you use bots on your personal account, because that's what's gonna follow you all the way throughout your life when you're using Instagram. So definitely don't use bots on your personal account. I just wouldn't risk it. I just know the history of the internet, and I just know that Instagram's model is not around having people use bots to help them grow their Instagram profile. What they're trying to do is provide entertaining and valuable content to its users. So if you focus on those things, you'll never go wrong. But certainly you can definitely use bots if you are trying to use that within the context of a methodology and approach. It certainly has worked for many people. I just say tread carefully when you're doing so. All right, so there you go, guys. Those are the 3 approaches to Instagram growth strategy that I feel everyone needs to know. If this is your first time watching any of my videos and you found this video useful, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and click the bell icon so you get notified every time I put up a video. And if you guys have any questions or comments regarding these approaches that I mentioned in this video, or maybe you have other approaches and strategies and tactics that you feel you should share, please leave them in the comment section. This video should be a resource for anyone that is starting out with Instagram and wants to understand how to grow their profile. Again, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys on the next video. What's up, guys? Thanks for watching my YouTube video. If you guys found the video useful, please make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also, make sure you check out my blog at bryanlozano.com/blog, where you can get more information on the topics I covered in this video, plus more. Also, subscribe to my newsletter so you can get all this information sent directly to your inbox the moment I put up brand new content. So thanks again for watching. I'll see you guys on the next video.